Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 11, texts 18 and 19. We will read text number 19 together. Text 18. Tata urdvam brahmacharyam dharayan ajuhot prabhuh trayodashabda sahasram agnihotram akanditam. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. After Mother Sita entered the earth, Lord Ramachandra observed complete celibacy and performed an uninterrupted Agnihotra Yajna for 13,000 years. Text 19. Please repeat after me. Smaratam Hridi Vinyasya Smaratam Hridi Vinyasya Vidham Dandaka Kantakaihi Vidham Dandaka Kantakaihi Swapada Pallavam Rama Swapada Pallavam Rama Atma Jyotihi Agat Tataha Atma Jyotir Agat Tataha Smaratam Hridi Vinyasya Vidham Dandaka Kantakaihi Swapada Pallavam Rama Atma Jyotir Agat Tataha Smaratam Hridi Vinyasya Vidham Dandaka Kantakaihi Swapada Pallavam Rama Atma Jyotir Agat Tataha. Smaratam of persons who always think of him. Hridi in the core of the heart. Vinyasya placing. Vidham pierced. Dandaka Kantakaihi by thorns in the forest of Dandakaranya. While Lord Ramachandra was living there. Swapada Pallavam, the petals of his lotus feet. Ramaha, Lord Ramachandra. Atma Jyotihi, the rays of his bodily luster, known as the Brahma Jyoti. Agat, entered. Tataha, beyond the Brahma Jyoti, or in his own Vaikuntha planet. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. After completing the sacrifice, Lord Ramachandra, whose lotus feet were sometimes pierced by thorns when he lived in Dandakaranya, placed those lotus feet in the hearts of those who always think of him. Then he entered his own abode, the Vaikuntha planet, beyond the Brahmajyoti. Can you repeat the translation? After completing the sacrifice, Lord Ramachandra, whose lotus feet were sometimes pierced by thorns when he lived in Dandakaranya, placed those lotus feet in the hearts of those who always think of him. Then he entered his own abode, the Vaikuntha planet, beyond the Brahmajyoti. Purport. The lotus feet of the Lord are always a subject matter for meditation for devotees. Sometimes when Lord Ramachandra wandered in the forest of Dandakaranya, thorns pricked his lotus feet. The devotees, upon thinking of this, would faint. The Lord does not feel pain or pleasure from any action or reaction of this material world, but the devotees cannot tolerate even the pricking of the Lord's lotus feet by a thorn. This was the attitude of the gopis when they thought of Krishna wandering in the forest with pebbles and grains of sand pricking his lotus feet. This tribulation in the heart of a devotee cannot be understood by karmis, jnanis or yogis. The devotees who could not tolerate even thinking of the Lord's lotus feet being pricked by a thorn were again put into tribulation by thinking of the Lord's disappearance, for the Lord had to return to his abode after finishing his pastimes in this material world. The word Atma Jyoti is significant. The Brahma Jyoti, which is greatly appreciated by jnanis or monistic philosophers who desire to enter it for liberation, is nothing but the rays of the Lord's body. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti kotisvashesha vasudadi vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma nishkalam anantam asesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman, which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays the varieties of countless planets, with their different opulences in millions and millions of universes. Brahma Samhita 5.40. The Brahmajyoti is the beginning of the spiritual world, and beyond the Brahmajyoti are the Vaikuntha planets. In other words, the Brahmajyoti always stays outside the Vaikuntha planets, just as the sunshine stays outside the sun. To enter the sun planet, one must go through the sunshine. Similarly, when the Lord or his devotees enter the Vaikuntha planets, they go through the Brahmajyoti. The jnanis or monistic philosophers, because of their impersonal conception of the Lord, cannot enter the Vaikuntha planets. But they also cannot stay eternally in the Brahmajyoti. Thus, after some time, they fall again to this material world. Aruhya krichina param padam tataha patanti yado anadruta yushmadangrayaha. Bhagavatam 10.2.32. The Vaikuntha planets are covered by the Brahmajyoti, and therefore one cannot properly understand what those Vaikuntha planets are unless one is a pure devotee. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport and translation 2. Canto 9, Chapter 11, texts 18 and 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namamo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in these verses, Shukadeva Goswami is explaining Parikshit Maharaj how when Mother Sita left this planet and concluded her Prakati Leela or manifest pastimes, she went back to her place of origin, that is earth, and post that Lord Ramachandra Tata Urdhvam Brahmacharyam, thereafter Tataha, after Urdhvam, Mother Sita entered the earth, Brahmacharyam Dharayan, he observed Brahmacharya, and Ajuhot Prabhuhu, Lord Ramachandra, Ajuhot, he performed a Vedic sacrifice, which is referred here as Agnihotram Akanditham, Agnihotra. So he performed Agnihotra sacrifice for how long? Trayodashabda Sahasram. 13,000 years he performed Agnihotra sacrifice, Akanditham, continuously, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. So today we did this Narsimha Homa in the morning. Until next day we are going to do. Again next day morning 6:30 we are resuming the Homa. So we are doing once a day here. But Lord Ramachandra did Agnihotra for 13,000 years continuously. That means we have a 45-minute slot here. It takes 45 minutes to complete one round of Narsimha Homa. Again another slot, another slot, another slot, another slot. So 24 hours. You can just imagine 45 minutes slot. Like that for 13,000 years Lord Ramachandra performed Agnihotra sacrifice. Why did he do that? Because he was very pained from separation of Mother Sita. So in order to mitigate the pain, he performed this sacrifice. And for performing sacrifice, generally as per the Vedic tradition, you require both the husband and wife to be present for a Vedic sacrifice. Therefore, Lord Ramachandra got a golden form of Mother Sita done and placed this golden form deity of Mother Sita next to him and performed the Agnihotra sacrifice. Then, after completing the sacrifice, Lord Ramachandra placed his lotus feet in the hearts of his devotees who always think of him. And those very lotus feet were the feet which used to get pierced by thorns sometimes as he walked in the forest of Dandaka. Then after that, Swapada Pallavam Brahma Atma Jyotir Agat Tataha. He went back to his own abode, the Vaikuntha planet, which is beyond the Brahmajyoti. So if you recollect Ramayana in short, when Lord Rama attained victory over Ravana, this news was not known to Mother Sita. So Mother Sita was still morose, unhappy. Just at that time, Hanuman came to Ashokavana and he saw Mother Sita. And as per the description which he has heard from Lord Rama, Hanuman could spot Mother Sita amidst many Rakshasis who were also surrounding Mother Sita. She was glowing with transcendental effulgence. Her features were very discreet. Nobody can mistake Sita to the other associates who were there in the forest of Ashoka. So then, at that time, he approached Mother Sita, and then he gave the good news to Mother Sita that Lord Rama became victorious. And Ravana's dynasty, Ravana's life has come to an end. At first, Mother Sita doubted whether he is another impostor sent by Ravana, or whether this Hanuman must be another Rakshasa disguised as a monkey, again trying to cheat Mother Sita. So a lot of doubts crept in her mind. But later on, Lord Rama gives the description, Hanumanji gives the description of Lord Rama and how he was instructed by Lord Rama to inform Mother Sita about this victory and bring her. So then she understood that this is Hanuman, the great devotee of Lord Rama. Then she wanted to give very special gifts to Hanuman. She wanted to give a lot of gold, silver and precious jewels. But then she said that the message which you have given me is not worth any gold or any precious jewels. What can I do, Hanuman? Then Hanuman replied in return, my dear mother, I don't require any gift from you. She said, I am very eager to see my Lord Rama. So Hanuman said, this news itself is more than enough as a gift for me. I will carry this valuable message to Lord Rama. That is enough. So please await Lord Rama's presence. Very soon he'll come and personally carry you. So Hanuman was very gladdened. Then, before Hanuman could depart, he told Mother Sita, I want to give a big thrashing to all these Rakshasis and beat them up black and blue. So much disturbance they have given me. So shall I do that? Mother Sita said, oh Hanuman, no. You should not do that. The ornament of a righteous person is forgiveness. Good conduct is the ornament of a righteous person. Therefore, let us not retaliate. Let us not take action against these Rakshasis. After all, they were directed and instructed by Ravana. So what mistake is there in their character? They were just following Ravana's advice and instruction. So please forgive them. And she said that a righteous person does not consider the offenses of others against him. So let us forgive. We have to show compassion. Because there is nobody in the world who is free from mistakes and doing wrong activities. Therefore, on those grounds, you have to forgive them. If you think that they are sinful, they are not righteous, there is nobody in the world who is righteous. Therefore, let us forgive. This is the path of righteousness. So Hanumanji said, according to your order, I will obey your order, my dear mother. And then he left. And then he informed Lord Ramachandra Lord Ramachandra was very glad. Then he told Vibhishana, who was uh, coronated as the king of Lanka. So he told Vibhishana to bring Mother Sita and to give her lot of gold, golden ornaments, jewelry, nice necklaces, and nice silk sari, etc. So Vibhishana carries a huge amount of gold, jewelry, silk sari, and makes arrangements for her bath because she had not taken bath for a long, long. It's almost a year where she was held captive in Ravana's kingdom in Ashokamana. But Mother Sita was so eager that she said, I can't wait for any ritual or bath. I just want to see Lord Rama immediately. Please take me. Then Vibhishana said, but this was Lord Rama's desire, that you come well dressed, well decorated, my dear mother. Because she was not well dressed and well decorated. She forsake all opulence in the absence of Lord Rama. She doesn't want to enjoy any opulence without the presence of Lord Rama. That was her chastity. And 24 hours a day she was simply meditating on Lord Ramachandra. But when she understood Lord Rama's desire, she agreed to take a good celestial bath and apply herself celestial divine ointments, very fragrant, took bath in very fragrant oils. It's a very nice description given in Ramayana. And then she wore the silk dress and adorned herself with nice jewelry, befitting the queen of Lord Rama. And Vibhishana was bringing her on his chariot. And as he approached Ayodhya, as he approached Lord Rama, and Lord Rama spotted Vibhishana's chariot, suddenly there was a turn of event. Suddenly he said to Vibhishana, my dear Vibhishan, tell this lady to get down, dismount the chariot and come on her foot. So Vibhishana was shocked. How can Lord Rama tell this? So huge crowds assembled there. They were all very eager to see Mother Sita, and Mother Sita joined Lord Ramachandra, but he was surprised. Lord Ramachandra made a very terse remark. He said, a house, a wheel, or a costume are never the protection of a chaste woman. Her character alone is her shield. He appeared displeased with Mother Sita. And this was very obvious from his facial expression. He was looking very grave. So when Mother Sita looked up at Lord Rama, she could immediately sense that her husband was very grave and displeased with her. Then she put her head down and she never looked up. At that time, Lord Ramachandra said that addressing Sita and even the gathering, he said, my dear Sita, I have not called you through Vibhishan because of longingness for you, because of being attached to you. Nor will I feel anything lacking without your presence. I am not in need of you. Then he went on to say, You have lived long time in the house of another. Therefore, your character has come for suspicion. So you may go wherever you want. But I may not be able to accept you anymore as my chaste wife. That's all. Mother Sita was completely devastated. She said, "My lord, how can you make such a remark against me as done towards a unchaste woman? How can you use such unkind words against me? Like a common man addressing an unchaste woman. I have never thought of anyone even for a moment other than your lotus feet. Neither in the past nor in the present nor in the future such possibility exists. So how can you think like this? And I'm surprised after having lived so many years how you can doubt me." She said, "Maybe Ramana had caught hold of my body to pull me from the forest into his Vimana and then put me in the Ashokavana. But my heart always had been yearning for you." Then she said, "If this was the case, you could have as well sent a message through Hanuman, rejecting me. Why bring me so far and then put me into humiliation like this?" Immediately she looked at Lakshmanji and said, "My dear Lakshmana, please set up a fire. And as my husband has renounced me in a public gathering, I shall enter fire and give up my life." Then the princess prayed with folded hands, "If I have never been unfaithful to Lord Rama, either in mind, words, or body, may this fire god protect me." And then, making this humble prayer, unhesitatingly she enters the fire. While everybody looked staring at Mother Sita's venture and risk and boldness, Lord Rama was deeply pained at his heart. Although there was unlimited tears, but he checked his tears. Why did Lord Rama do this? Does Lord Rama not know the chastity of Mother Sita? He does know. But he was concerned about public censure and his reputation as the king of Ayodhya. A king cannot have any blemish in his ruling, in his character. Even one single fault cannot be expected from a king. Even suspicion cannot be risen. Suspicion also should not arise in a king's character. This was the standard set by Lord Ramachandra of a ruler. Very, very ideal. Nor does he want any blemish upon the character of Mother Sita. Lord Ramachandra knew his wife was chaste. But as far as the public is concerned, how is he going to prove? Therefore, Lord Ramachandra had decided to go through this tribulation for himself and for his wife. That time Lord Brahma became shocked. And then he came down and approached Lord Rama, and then he said, "Oh Rama, what have you done? What have you spoken? Is this wise? I am surprised that you are doubting the chastity of Mother Sita. Don't you know your own origin and the origin of Mother Sita? So how can you subject Mother Sita to such a test, such an embarrassment?" Then Lord Rama says, "Oh, what is that divine origin you talked about? About my divine origin, what is that? Please tell." As though Lord Rama himself does not know about his own divine origin. Then Lord Brahma goes on to describe, "Oh my Lord, you are the supreme controller of all the worlds, the supreme creator of all the worlds. Everything is moving according to your will, including this Agni Pariksha. Oh my Lord, are you not aware?" Oh, I see. So, actually, Lord Rama wanted Brahma to tell the world what is he and what is Sita, instead of he himself. Anyway, why all these things is happening, I'll tell you a little later. Let us keep the surprise for some more time. So Brahmaji made this statement. Just then, Agni Deva came out of the fire, holding Mother Sita in his arms, wherein she was fully decorated, glowing. And then Agni Dev also vouched about the chastity of Mother Sita. And then he reconfirmed that Mother Sita is completely sinless, completely pure. No sin can touch her. So Lord Rama became very joyful upon hearing Agni's speech. So Mother Sita needed this purificatory ordeal. Otherwise, the world would have condemned Lord Rama and even doubted the character of Mother Sita. So this pariksha was needed. Now Rama declared to the world that Mother Sita is my eternal consort and she is inseparable from me, as much as sunshine cannot be separated from the sun. So Mother Sita also became very glad. And then she came and took her seat next to Lord Rama on a golden throne. And then there were a lot of praises. Many devatas assembled there and offered their appreciation. So I may not be able to describe the whole description as it is very long. Only one or two I will pick up. Indra came down, being very glad, and he told Lord Rama that I am very glad to be part of this union between Mother Sita and your good self, my Lord. Then he said that, my Lord, anyway I have come, so please ask me any boon you want. This is another joke. Indra is asking Lord Rama, do you want any boon? Please ask from me. Why all these things are happening? Let this surprise continue some more. I will tell later. Then Lord Rama said, oh yes, I have a request from you. So Indra said, with pleasure, I will fulfill, as though he is Lord Rama fulfilling Indra's desire. Here Indra is going to fulfill Lord Rama's desire. So what is that? He says that all these monkeys, unfortunately they have laid their life for me. The great fighting spirit, they came to fight Ravana's army. But many of them were killed, unfortunately, because of me. So kindly bring them to life. And provide them with abundant amount of fruits and roots for their food in this forest. So then Indra thought this is quite a difficult task, but nonetheless, because it was a special request, O Rama, I assure that I will fulfill your wish. As though he is Narayana. And then he takes some celestial nectar from the sky and then sprinkles over all the monkeys And then they all wake up and they say, what has happened? As though they slept and then they woke up. So what is this miracle? How we have come back to life? We were dead, right? Each monkeys talk to each other. Hey, Haribol, we were all dead. We all woke up. Oh, very nice. What is this miracle? Who did this? And then they jumped as their nature dictates. The monkeys always jump. And then they became very joyful. They shouted out of great joy. Then Vibhishana asked Lord Ramachandra, is there any final service I have for you, my Lord? Before I leave? Before you leave? Then Lord Rama requested, give these monkeys abundant gold and jewelry. They had worked hard for me. They deserve this reward from you, O Vibhishana. See, those days were the days even monkeys were flourishing with gold and jewelry. And today women move around with plastic bangles. So that is Kali Yuga. Today women don't move with gold jewelry. All plastic bangles and plastic jewelry. That is the grace of Kali Yuga. Dhanyosmi Kali Yuga. All glories to Kali Yuga. They're just saying like that. So here we see even monkeys were blessed with abundant amount of gold and jewelry. Then Sugriva had one request from Lord Rama. He said, my dear Lord Rama, I have one request from you. I wanted that all my friends, the monkey friends, we would like to attend your coronation in Ayodhya. So can we come? Lord Rama said, Tathastu. So it be. So all the monkeys also accompanied Mother Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, along with Hanuman. They set to Ayodhya, and there was a grand coronation ceremony for Lord Ramachandra. And they all were part of that coronation ceremony of Lord Ramachandra. Then Bharadvaja Rishi said, you should enter Ayodhya tomorrow after sending ahead a messenger before you reach Ayodhya. Message to whom? To his younger brother Bharata. Why? That is the reason. Lord Ramachandra sent Hanumanji with a message that Lord Rama is soon returned to Ayodhya and will take over the reins of Ayodhya. So give this message to Bharata and observe his reaction. Sense his reaction. Whether he'll be upset or he'll be joyful that Lord Rama is returned back. So Hanumanji goes and then gives this wonderful news to Bharata, and Bharat Maharaj becomes so glad. He became extremely joyful. Oh monkey, I do not know, because Bharata didn't see Hanuman earlier. So he therefore, addressing Hanuman, he says, oh monkey, I do not know if you're God or a rishi, whatever it may be, you have brought this most wonderful, most awaited news for me. I shall give you 100,000 cows, meaning 1,00,000 cows, as a donation for this good news, and many beautiful maidens adorned with golds and jewels as a gift from me. So actually Bharata was very, very glad to have Lord Rama back. Then Lord Ramachandra was returned to Ayodhya, and Bharat Maharaj brought the sandals of Lord Ramachandra, which he had kept on the Ayodhya's throne till Lord Rama returned. And Bharat Maharaj said when he met Lord Ramachandra, my dear brother, during this tenure of your absence, the opulence in the kingdom has increased tenfold, all by your grace. Everything in the kingdom has increased by tenfold. The vegetation, the gold, the opulence, the happiness, the peace, the joy, everything has increased tenfold. Then Lord Rama, who came to Ayodhya by Pushpak Vimana, bade farewell to Pushpaka. Now you can return back. And Pushpaka returned back to Kubera, its master. Then Lord Ramachandra had a grand coronation ceremony arranged. Then 2 years passed. Everything became as earlier. Everything was wonderful, beautiful. The whole Ayodhya was another Vaikuntha because of Lord Rama's ruling and personal presence with Mother Sita. As we heard the descriptions also from Ramayana, by Shukadev Goswami in the earlier verses, there was no death, there was no disease, there was no old age for those who didn't want it. That kind of opulence. Everything was opulent to its highest degree. People were very peaceful, joyful. Nobody suffered any kind of pain. Absolutely, these three kleshas, Adhyatmik, Adidevik, Adibhautiko, was conspicuous by its absence. It's completely absent. They were fully satisfied. There was no greed. Nothing was found. It was actually like Satya Yuga. There was no vice, absolutely. So 2 years, the citizens of Ayodhya enjoyed life in this way while under Lord Rama's ruling. At that point, a very good news came for the entire Ayodhya kingdom. Mother Sita became pregnant. She was about to deliver divine children to this world. And at that time, Mother Sita expressed her desire to see this Dandakaranya forest and also visit the forest where they stayed during their Vanavasa. She was very much impressed by the fruits, the flowers, the gardens, the serene forest where they lived. So she desired to see. Lord Rama said, I will make that arrangement very shortly. That time, once again, something undesirable took place. Lord Ramachandra, at this hour of auspiciousness, great joy, asked Bhadra, his chief minister, oh my dear Bhadra, so what news do you carry for me? What are the citizens talking about me and Mother Sita? I am very eager to know. So Bhadra said, my lord, in a very dull, pale voice, everything is fine. Just like he said, Yalla chanagide. Like that you will say, Yalla chanagide. Yalla chanagide. Yalla chanagide. There's a difference, right? So Bhadra was telling, everything fine, my lord. It's all fine. So Lord Rama said, but I don't see the charm in that statement. Is there anything wrong? So please speak up the truth, O Bhadra. I deserve to know the truth from you. Please disclose everything. Then, with a lot of hesitation, shivering in his body, trembling in his body, he says, my lord, the citizens are saying that Mother Sita had been in somebody else's house for a year. So how do we justify her chastity? What is the proof? Lord Rama became so upset. And then he turned to Lakshmana and then he said, it seems that even though the gods have testified Mother Sita's chastity, the mortals in this world are still doubtful of her chastity. So this is the position of the mortals in this world. Unfortunate mortals. Mortals means human beings who are subject to death. That means we. So still the human beings are not satisfied. So then Lord Rama said, infamy must be avoided by all means. It is censured even by gods. So there cannot be any infamy in my ruling, in my character, my reputation, nor Mother Sita. So what shall we do? So therefore he said, to avoid this disrepute, I don't mind giving up my own life or separating from my brothers who are actually inseparable. Then what do you speak of Mother Sita? So then he instructed Lakshmana to take away Mother Sita once again from his company. But then he said, Mother Sita must not know this truth, this reasoning. Nor there's a need to tell her. Anyway, she had desired to go to the forest where they lived during the Vanavasa. So you can tell Mother Sita that as she desired, Lord Rama has arranged for her visit to the forest. After you go to the forest, you just leave her alone and return back without a word. Lakshmana was bewildered. How can I do this? How can I do this? Lord Rama said, no more arguments, no more discussions. That is it. So Lakshmana could not speak any word against his brother because he was the most obedient brother. So he had to fulfill this hard instruction of his elder brother. So then he approaches Mother Sita and then says, Mother Sita, I heard from Lord Rama that you desire to go to the forest. Lord Rama ordered me to take you to the forest and spend good time before you return back to Lord Rama. Then Mother Sita very innocently, oh, very nice of my Lord. So Lakshmana says, please board the chariot. And Mother Sita was about to board the chariot. But there were a lot of bad omens, bad signs. Her right eye was twitching. Her right limbs were shaking, trembling. That means bad sign. For a woman, if the right eye is twitching means no, just closing and opening continuously. Involuntarily if it happens. Or if there is little trembling of the right arm and leg, that means it's a bad omen. And vice versa is for the man. For a man, if the left eye is twitching, some apashaguna, some sade sat, or some effect of Shani or something is sure to happen. So Mother Sita sensed some bad omens. Then Lakshmana overruled it by saying, no, mother, you are over concerned. You are very disturbed about separation from Lord Rama even for a day. So you are observing all these things. Don't take anything seriously. I know you can't be away from Lord Rama even for a moment. So you don't have to take these sides very seriously. Just that you are feeling very, you are feeling a lot of discomfort from separation of Lord Rama. That's all, nothing more. Oh, is it so, Lakshmana? Oh, yes, my dear mother. I'm telling you, I'm assuring you. Oh, okay, Lakshmana is assuring. Fine. So she got onto the chariot. Lakshmana drives Mother Sita to the forest, and they come to a point which was very near to Valmiki's ashram. There was a nice pond, and then Lakshmana and Sumantra, the charioteer, and Sita Devi get down. And Mother Sita was offering prayers, kneeling down to the waters. That time, Lakshmana thought, this is the right time for me to leave him. Anyway, Valmiki's ashram is very near, and she can very easily find out the whereabouts of Valmiki ashram by asking nearby sages. So then he wanted to just indicate to her and leave. Again, Mother Sita sensed something, and then she said, actually, at that time, when he was about to leave, he could not control his emotions. He shouted. Mother Sita was surprised. In this serene, silent, beautiful, divine settings, what happened to Lakshmana? Why is he shouting? Why is he screaming loudly? What danger is there? Or what danger is he anticipating? What is this strange behavior from Lakshmana? So she turned to Lakshmana and asked him an explanation. Great hesitance, he said, my dear mother, Lord Rama being very much concerned about your protection had forsaken you to this forest. So again, Mother Sita, hearing this news, fainted instantly and lay on the ground. Then she said, probably my entire life is meant for suffering. But then she thought, I am constantly giving grief to my Lord, Rama. What sin did I commit that I should suffer in this way? How can I live alone amidst Swamijis? What will I do with them? What will I say when these ascetics, the monks, they ask me, why are you here? Where is Lord Rama? Because they all know Mother Sita. Where is your Lord Rama? What will I say? Can I say my husband abandoned me? Can I do that? How can I tell that? That will be a blemish on the character of Lord Rama, which I can never do. But what explanation do I have? Convincing explanation do I have? So anyway, so she was very bewildered. Then Lakshmana left the place and went and informed Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra was also devastated equally. Very soon, some ascetics spotted Mother Sita, although she was in a corner and silent, they could spot her, and then they immediately informed Valmiki Rishi about a divine presence of a divine woman there. Valmiki understood by his foresight it was Mother Sita, and he knew all the turn of events. He was a Trikalagya. He knew all the past, present, and future. So he explained, he understood, and then he came down personally and then he introduced himself that I am Valmiki, the great sage. And he said, my dear mother, I knew about your divine origin, about Lord Rama, and why you are here, the reason for you being here, everything I knew. So don't worry, I am there to care for you. And he said, I knew you are pregnant, don't have to worry. You can stay with some Matajis who are around nearby my ashram. who are also ascetics. They will take good care of you. As much you are cared for by Lord Rama, you have absolutely nothing to fear. And like that, so Valmiki assured Mother Sita, and she goes and stays in the ashrama of the Matajis, who are also ascetics. They took good care, and she eventually gave birth to Lava and Kusha. Then, at one point, I will close another 2-3 minutes. At one point, Valmiki wanted to take this Lava and Kusha to Ayodhya and make them sing the entire Ramayana, deliver the entire Ramayana in front of Lord Rama. Lord Rama also had a desire to perform a sacrifice. So, but to perform a sacrifice, he requires his wife. Therefore, he developed a desire to see Mother Sita again. And these small boys, Lava and Kusha, they deliver the Ramayana in a very beautiful way. That reminded Lord Rama, which is his own life, about Mother Sita. So he started longing for Mother Sita. He sends over to Valmiki. Valmiki gets Mother Sita to the assembly. So Lord Rama is very happy. And then he wanted Valmiki to declare to the entire assembly that his wife is chaste. Valmiki does declare once again. That time Agni did. This time Valmiki Rishi vouched the chastity of Mother Sita. But this time Mother Sita decided, why should I be a trouble time and again for my Lord? Let me be away from my Lord. That will keep him happy and comfortable. And his character and reputation will not be at stake. So deciding so, she prayed to Mother Earth to come and take her again. And in fact, she said, if it is true that I am a chaste wife of Lord Rama, the earth should separate and give way for me. Very shocking statement by Mother Sita. Instantly, the earth right in front of Mother Sita separated, and Bhuma Devi came on a chariot with outstretched arms, awaiting Mother Sita's arrival inside into the earth. Mother Sita enters the earth, and then the earth closes once again. Lord Rama becomes so angry. He said, where is my dear Sita? And then he charged Mother Earth. And then he said, if you don't deliver my Sita, I am going to destroy you to the earth. I am not going to spare anyone. Then Lord Brahma again came. Said, oh my Lord, this was anyway part of your Leela only, that Mother Sita goes into the earth. So kindly let us complete the climax properly as per your own dialogues and your own script. So please don't destroy the earth. It is no mistake of Mother Earth to take care of Mother Sita. It is part of your plan. My Lord, your Leela has come to an end in this world. So therefore, as per your last episode, you only had made this scene that Mother Sita goes inside the earth. So please let us complete the Leela. So Lord Rama laughs and says, okay, so it will. Okay, so in conclusion, so the point is, Lord Rama is wanted to show the world how difficult it is to live in this world. Even if you have an ideal family, it is very difficult to live in this world. Lot of rumors, lot of suspicions, lot of pains one has to go through. So this is not a very desirable place for us to live. One has to come back to the kingdom of God. This is what Lord Rama wanted to show the world. What are the trials and tribulations one has to undergo, even if one is a devotee, even if one is living a very ideal life. And this blessing by Indra, or there are many other instances where Lord Rama also was cursed for being separated from his wife. But these are all part of the dialogues and scripts written by the Lord himself to make it more realistic and appealing to the people. Whenever the Lord enacts a role, he does it very, very perfectly. So he acted as a human being. He wanted to take up the role of a human being, of an ideal king, and he did that. And befitting a human being, curses, counter curses, all these things does work. Lord Rama went through all those things. And simultaneously he fooled the atheists to make believe that even God also was cursed. God also had to go through tribulations. In that way he actually fooled the atheists. While the devotees like Valmiki and great devotees perfectly know that there is no question of action and reaction for the Lord. They are simply wonderful pastimes of the Lord, which enhances the devotee's bliss and not sorrow. There is no reaction and there is no action reaction for the Lord. It is all part of the Lord's own play, own script, enacted by Yogamaya, not Mahamaya. In this way, the Lord enjoyed Vipralamba Rasa, bliss in separation from Mother Sita. How can separation be bliss? That is Vaikuntha atmosphere. Everything ultimately ends in happiness, not misery. But in this world, even the so-called happiness ends in misery. But in Vaikuntha, the so-called misery ends in happiness. See the contrast? So that is Vaikuntha. Therefore, the Lord is inviting us to come to that abode. So I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. From an announcement, we will be celebrating the 126th Appearance Day of Srila Prabhupada on August 20th, 2022, named as Sri Vyasa Puja. So we request the devotees to kindly write. Glorifying Prabhupada exclusively. You can even glorify ISKCON and Prabhupada, glorifying his greatness, his mercy, his kindness, his compassion, etc. And submit it by Monday, 5th July 2022. We have put this in the notice board also, kindly go through. Your further clarification, please meet the temple devotees. They'll give you a better idea about this. And for the first time, we're also beginning the Harinama, Hare Krishna Japa Yajna in the temple for all the congregation and folk members. Harinama Mahamantri Ki Jai. 3rd July from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. It's a Sunday. Next Sunday, after the Bhagavatam class and after you are fed with nice prasadam, keeping you comfortable, you can chant Krishna's name 16 rounds at a stretch. So we wanted to give the experience of chanting 16 malas at a stretch and see how it is going to be like. For those who chant 1 round, 2 round, you can just have a feel. 16 rounds chanting at a stretch, not 2 rounds morning, 4 rounds afternoon, 4 rounds night, or only 2 rounds all through the day, only Janmashtami 16 rounds. You get a feel of 16 rounds at a stretch, chanting in the temple, which has got 1000 times more power. So 16 rounds becomes 16,000 rounds. So that is the secret in chanting in temple. Becomes 16,000 rounds. So you will get an opportunity to chant 16 rounds in the temple, in the association of devotees, and primarily Prabhupada's chanting also will put. So kindly come and take part in this Hare Krishna Japa Yajna coming Sunday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantha.